Anyway, here's a little clip of the scale of the protests here. And I was watching last night on the news. It started to get a little violent, or not. It was. They burned a few cars.
Yeah, it popped off a little bit. Listen,
but the crowd was greatly reduced. It was like not a lot of protesters doing the.
And I just want to make it clear to people that don't live in LA and don't really understand the geography and layout. All of this that you've been seeing has been happening basically within like a 2-block area around City Hall in Los Angeles. Because I've had like friends reach out and it's like, "Are you okay?" Because I happen to live near downtown, pretty relatively close to this, and I have people reaching out to me worried. My mom was texting me yesterday morning, like, "Are you guys safe?" And I'm relatively close to this, and let me tell you, LA is not on fire. This is not that big a deal, and they're intentionally trying to make it seem way more violent and way larger than it is to justify the crackdown and sending in the National Guard. And now, I guess, I don't know if it's actually happened yet, but we were talking about the Marines potentially being mobilized, which is just like, what are we talking about here? Like,
this is extremely peaceful looking protests.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
about as peaceful as it gets.
They're, I won't lie, like, there's a lot of graffiti downtown, a lot of "fuck ICE" written all over the place, and they burned some Waymos and a couple cop cars, I think.
Dude,
I'm not going to pretend like it was 100% peaceful, but the scale of the response is so disproportionate to like what's actually happening right
in
now.
LA, we've had way crazier, more violent protests.
Yeah, literally where these protests are happening, it's like every weekend there's protests here. Not to discount what I'm glad these people are out there and making their voices heard, but it's they are purposely trying to leverage this by making it a bigger crisis than it remotely is.
Can I read something that I saw? It was so well put about that. In the coming days, the national media is going to call LA a war zone. But the truth is, the folks protesting today were worried about their friends, their neighbors, and their community. A few idiots will throw a rock and it'll take over the entire narrative. But just know, LA is afraid right now because their coworkers were kidnapped at work, because the guy who sold them dinner was snatched by masked men, and because a bunch of neighbors' parents straight up never came home. As Trump gleefully escalates this with the National Guard, violence is inevitable. But just know, this protest started from a place of protection, a place of love. We love our neighbors, we love our family, and we love our community. Whatever the news tells you in the coming days, that's the truth. They're going to paint a vision of LA that is much different from that, and don't let them.
Yeah, if you just look at this protest, these people are extremely peaceful. And then at nighttime, there's probably like maybe 100, 200 max. Not a lot of people who get violent and rowdy.
Yeah, and it's
which is kind of just what you'd expect from any protest at night. Like, there's bad faith, amped up, young, aggressive people, and they're just going to want to go break shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was a couple sneaker stores that was broken into on my street.
Yeah, these people don't care about the cause. They're just
they're there to take advantage. Yeah. Which sucks, and those people shouldn't do that because it then, gets replayed on Fox News over and over again and convinces everybody that it's fucking. Yeah, of course they don't care.
It's inevitable. It's part of every. You know what I mean? Like it's literally as far
as. But it's just like in terms of scale, again,
very small
compared to like the BLM protests that were going on in 2020. This is like minuscule so far. I mean, I guess anything can happen if it continues to escalate. But I would guess the ratio of like law enforcement downtown to protesters was in favor of law enforcement. Well, especially at night, it was probably 10 to 1.
Because there's a lot.
But even during this, I mean, there was a lot of people there, but there was fucking lot of cops downtown too. I don't know. And then again, sending in literal like National Guard and stuff to like back them up. It was just like so overkill, so insanely overkill, and clearly just meant to just scare people and just fuck with them.
God, he hates Democrats so much. He hates these blue states.
He hates us because he ain't us.
I love Tesla.
Not anymore.
You got to come back to Cali, Elon. And
did we mention last week when we talked about that Trump said he's selling his Tesla?
No, I didn't.
Getting rid of it.
Busted.
He's selling the Tesla.
Tesla.
Did you guys see a clip of there's like this crazy ass dude in a van that went into the middle of like the protesters at night and started doing donuts in the middle of an intersection?
Yes. At some point, I did see
so
that.
bizarre.
Yeah.
I think there was a pursuit from that.
I think they got him.
They got him, and then someone, I think, burned his car.
I think I saw that car on fire too. I wasn't sure if it was the same.
It was
car.
right around my neighborhood.
I
heard
think
him
it was
drive
just a
around.
random act of stupid because like he didn't appear to be trying to hurt protesters. He didn't appear to be a protester. He looked like he just wanted attention.
He must have probably stolen that car and just went for a joyride.
Want to do some donuts?
Yeah.
It was truly, truly bizarre. He was doing backwards donuts.
Yeah.
He's a stunt,
Right, yeah, I did see
stunt
the
driver
video.
Dude, it was crazy. The helicopters were right above my apartment, like all night yesterday. It was wild.
Yeah, I was
shit.
hearing them late into the night too. And yeah, it was really only at night that I started to hear what I assume were a mix of flashbangs and fireworks being thrown back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, at this moment, this looks pretty dang peaceful. You know?
And yeah, again, like this is a lot of people, but like what I guess what I'm trying to get across is like what you saw in that video, that was about it. You know?
Well, let's see. Protesters.
LA's a big city.
They shut down the 101, which is not good. That's a major motorway.
As a traffic reporter, for the integrity, I gotta ask that you keep the roadways clear.
It's
just
job.
my duty as I support the protests fully, but if just respectfully.
My position
care a lot
on
about
this-
traffic.
My position on this has been and continues to be that shutting down highways is insanely unproductive and just gets regular people to
It gets regular people turning against you because
they got shit to do. You don't even know. They got kids that are sick. They got a job that they're going to get fired from. There could be like to school. Like it doesn't make sense. You're hurting regular people.
Yeah.
You know?
Was this Saturday or was that Sunday?
I think this was Sunday. Which I guess Sunday to be fair, not as busy on Sunday.
That does not apply to the 101.
This side is still going, by the way.
Right, yeah. But like you said, just imagine being the guy in that front car, just like, fuck.
What if you got to take a shit and you're trying to get home?
That's it. Someone's gonna have diarrhea, bro. You don't know what they're dealing with. How did these poor guys get trapped here? Because you see, there's not a lot of cars. It seems like the police got ahead of it.
Right, yeah. It's just
I'm sure there's a
unlucky
ton of
few.
traffic back here, but these poor little column of cars got absolutely wrecked. Who knows how long they were stuck there?
Yeah.
At what point do you just abandon your car? You know?
I don't think that this full shutdown lasted the whole day. I think they cleared them out.
So
But
there's
yeah,
that.
like I said at the beginning of the show, if you're trying to get downtown, you should probably avoid the 101.
Yeah. Yeah. Paramount Ice protest.
Producer Dan, you're listening to KET.
Like Paramount Studios?
No, Paramount. It's down like kind of South LA.
1:30 p.m. Wait, the rioters have
They brought shields.
blast
bro.
shields?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's prepared.
Might have taken them.
Or
They
took
look
them from the.
professional.
Yeah.
Those look like they must have.
So outside of a Home Depot.
It doesn't look like there's a lot of opposition.
This is what I'm saying about like this panic that they're trying to instill in the media and like the Trump administration and stuff. I mean, there's probably it looks like the 4 cops for every person out there, for every person that's throwing.
I mean,
a
yeah,
canister back at
I was
them.
curious to see what's behind the camera, but I don't see people back there.
Yeah.
The only people there are filming.
Yeah. Now there probably are other crowds nearby or whatever, but in terms of like, you know, the chaos that's going on, it just feels very inflated.
Oh, there's protesters here? Oh, no, it's more police.
Just like why?
beef roll. They're shooting rubber bullets, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And tear gas.
Alrighty. So that's what's going on there.